Isn't today a beautiful day? When I went into the Cheon sanctum and looked inside, I could see that Heavenly Parent is here. Can you feel the same? When we look at human history, with regards to heaven's providence, on this earth, the abode of Heavenly Parent is now coming to fruition. This is indeed a historic accomplishment that cannot be described in words. I feel moved, and I'm sure you do too. I am moved with happiness at the thought of Heavenly Parent having an abode, but I'm also filled with sadness that it took so long for Heavenly Parent to finally have an abode, and thinking of the 6,000 years of the providence it took, the tremendous trials and tribulations, the suffering, the patience that Heavenly Parent had to endure to finally see this day fills me with sorrow. But for the first time in 6,000 years, centering on the Korean peninsula, the advent of true parents could happen. And the advent of true parents is not just for the sake of Korea, but for the sake of the people of the world. And now the people throughout the world, through true parents, can receive the blessing of Heavenly Parent and become the beloved children of God, of Heavenly Parent. This day of blessings is a day of celebration, a day where we rejoice, where we send glory and gratitude to our Heavenly Parent. That day began in 1960 with True Parents' holy wedding. Exactly 62 years ago, on March 16, 1960, by the heavenly calendar. True Parents' holy wedding was truly historic. From heaven's point of view, True Parents' holy wedding should have taken place at the national, at the global level, but it took place under very humble circumstances. Nonetheless, it took place in the midst of circumstances where everyone was tense. Despite such humble beginnings, True Parents' life exemplified the work that has taken place to bring victory to heaven. The past 60 years of True Parents' life has been one for which I personally feel deeply sorrowful. I'm truly sorry before Heavenly Parent for having waited so long before this victory could be dedicated. Heaven has worked tirelessly throughout history. Heavenly Parent worked so hard so that all of humanity could be saved and be brought back to Heavenly Parent's bosom as God's beloved children. God has toiled so much so much suffering had to be endured by Heavenly Parent. The environment was hostile. And looking back on the 60 years of True Parents' life, I can say that if each day was 1,000 years, it may seem short, but indeed it was a long path, a long and arduous path. Especially as I stand before you today, I can feel the limitations of my physical age. But I am truly grateful because Heavenly Parents' dream is being realized through True Parents, and understanding that it is through True Parents that humanity can be engrafted onto Heavenly Parent. I once again am truly sorry before Heavenly Parent that it took so long for the providence to unfold. However, 1 year from today, all of you gathered here today, all of you are leaders and are the elders of the unification movement. I hope that you can join the great cause where we share the truth of heaven's providence. I wish to ask each and every one of you over the next 2 days, through this special workshop, please understand and learn about True Parents, Advent, and learn about the great developments that are taking place centering on True Parents, and wholeheartedly accept the mission that has been given unto you. Let us let go of all old preconceptions. Let us make a new beginning, so that 2023, on May 5, 2023, we can celebrate the dedication of Cheon. Many of you have come to Korea for the first time in more than 2 years. Isn't that so? I know that you missed me. Isn't that so? Many of you. Then I'm here. Take a good look at me. I'm very happy to see you. During the luncheon, I will also share a few additional words, but right now, what I wish to emphasize is that our earthly life on earth should be one without any shadows. And what are the shadows I'm referring to? These are self-centered ambitions. We should let go of all self-centeredness. Our earthly life is a preparation for the eternal life in the spirit world, and our lives should be cleaner than pure crystal. I'm sure that among our members, there are some who may have had this experience. And that is why I can say that looking at the 60-year history of the unification movement, there may have been some shadows, but we can all purify these shadows and overcome
그래서
all these challenges.
날짜를
Therefore,
얘기한다면
the date has been set.
19, 20일이 되겠는데 천심천보
The
수련원에서
Cheon Chonbo Training Center will host the Cheonilguk Leaders Assembly on April 19 and 20. Therefore, all the leaders let go of everything and
새롭게
participate in the Leaders Assembly with the heart of being born again, in complete unity with True Mother.
가정과 교회가
I hope that all of your
그러한
selves, your families, and your churches can offer special Cheongsong with regards to 2023.
나도 여러분들을
I'm so happy to see you. Where I am has some shade, and where you are has some sunlight, but you look more beautiful than azaleas, you look more beautiful than daffodils.